Hi guys, welcome back to Emily J Pilates. Today I have the most gorgeous mat session for you. So come to lie on your mat, belly down. Bend your elbows and place your forehead on the top of your hands. Slide your shoulders down the back. Try and pulling your belly button up off the mat to engage that core. Lifting the pelvic floor and letting the energy flow out of your toes. Inhaling, pushing the air to the back and the sides of your ribs, and exhaling completely through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, pushing the air to the back and the sides of the ribs. Core is engaged so the belly stays low and you breathe out through your mouth. You're going to open up your legs so they're hip distance apart, and then open up your arms so they're shoulder distance apart. Inhale, engaging that core, and exhale, lift opposite arm and leg, the head, neck and chest off the mat. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, lift the opposite arm and leg, head, neck and chest, and gently bring it down. Exhale to lift and inhale to bring it down. In your own inhale and exhale now. Pulling up that kneecap and squeezing the bum so that you can try and pull as much of your thigh up as you lift that leg as possible. Pulling the shoulder blades down your back, but imagine I'm pulling those fingertips, trying to really reach for something that's just out of your way. And not letting the head drop between your shoulders. Push the back of the skull up to the ceiling and really create almost a double chin, so that your neck stays in line with the spine. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. On this next one, you're going to just lift both feet up and inhale, lower. Exhale to lift both feet and legs and inhale, lower. Still pulling up that kneecap towards your face so that you can squeeze the bum and lift your thighs up off the mat. In your own inhale and exhales, don't worry if you're not quite in time with me. Exhale and lift, squeeze the bum, pull that belly button up off the mat, and inhale to lower. Relax the shoulders, try and hold no tension here, let your lower back strengthen and do the work. This time you're going to lift both arms, head, neck and chest, and keep the feet down. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Exhale, lift, push the back of the skull to the ceiling and inhale, lower. Exhale, lift in the arms and lower on the inhale. Lift in the arms, pulling them back towards your sides, pushing them forwards again and then lowering. Exhale, lift, inhale, pull the elbows into the sides. Exhale, reach them forwards and inhale, lower. Exhale to lift, inhale, pull the arms back. Exhale, send them forwards and inhale to drop. Still pulling up the kneecaps with a light squeeze on the glutes here to protect the lower back. But loads of mobility and strength work through the upper back. Think of the muscles between your spine and your shoulder blades. Squeeze those mid-back muscles. Feel the sensation here. Feel the strength of your back and lift your body. Perfect. And just finding comfortability in this position again. Bringing your palms to your chest. You're going to lift the head, neck and chest and look up, coming into a cobra. And then lower the body, starting at the back, bottom of the back, all the way back to the head. Exhale, lift head, neck and chest and slowly raise your upper body. Inhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, bring it down. Imagine there's a marble on your nose and you're going to push that marble with the nose and then release it as you lift up, flexing through your spine, and come down, get that marble again and bring it back in with the nose. You'll notice my elbows do not extend, so I'm really creating lots of upper body mobilization here and not relying on the push up through an extended arm to get me higher, but to manipulate my spine and segmentally come into extension. I really feel that stretch and power through my upper back. You're going to bend your knees and bring your feet towards your bum and take the back of your feet in your palms. Exhale, you're going to push into the palms with the feet and raise your thighs up off the mat, lifting your head, neck and chest as well. Coming into your Pilates rocking. Exhale, lift the chest, head and thighs, push into the feet into the palms, and inhale to lower. Feel the stretch through your thighs, through your chest, down the back, through the shoulders. It's a really great strengthening and mobilization exercise, but it is a beautiful stretch as well. If this is a little bit too much for you, then just hold the feet as close to the bum as you can and just enjoy that stretch. Exhale, push into the feet and inhale to lower. And then just let one leg extend straight behind you and pull the other foot in towards the bum, going into a nice stretch. My elbows are bent here, and then I really just got my shoulder blades to slide and pull down the back so I could straighten my arms and really increase this stretch through the front of my leg. Now swapping it with the opposite leg to take that same stretch on the opposite side, remembering to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Continue to breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Bringing the palms back to the chest, you're going to lift the body up and push the bum back towards your heels. I moved forwards here just to make sure I was in the shot, but you can just pull the bum all the way to the heels, push through the shoulders and bring your forehead down to the mat. Your chest is on your thighs. And just practice that Pilates breathing. Core is engaged, pushing the air to the back and sides of the ribs and exhaling completely through the mouth. Coming onto the elbows, so your shoulders over your elbows and extend one leg back, pushing that heel down towards the mat. Feeling a nice stretch down the back of the legs here. You'll see my opposite knee is still under the hip of the bent leg. My shoulders are over my elbows. Bring that leg in and take the opposite leg out. Stretch and push that heel down towards the mat. Perfect. And then bend that knee in. You're going to take one leg out, tuck the pelvis, and then extend the opposite leg coming into plank. Bend the knee in, bringing it back down to the mat, and then bring the other one in. Exhale, push the opposite leg out to the other one before, and then push the other one out. So the leading leg changes with each time. Bend those knees and bring them back up to the mat. Extend the legs, hold, core engaged, and then bring it back in. Exhale to take the legs out, scoop that belly up, pull the shoulder blades down, and inhale to bring those knees back down to the mat. Really waking up and saying hello to our abdominal muscles. And then just push the bum back again down to the heels. If you can't quite reach the forehead to the mat, do not worry. You may need to open your knees a little bit more, and that may help you. Coming into an all four position now, so that your wrists are directly under your shoulders and your knees are directly under your hips. Your lower back has its natural arch and you're pushing the back of the skull up to the ceiling. Shoulder blades pull back. Exhale, tuck the pelvis and round up through the spine into cat. Inhale, untuck the pelvis, opening the chest, looking up and arching into cow. Exhale, tuck that pelvis and round up into cat. Scoop that belly up towards your spine. Gently look at your knees. Inhale, untuck that pelvis and round. Arch the back into your cow, looking forwards. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, rounding up into cat. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, untuck the pelvis and arch the back into cow, looking up, opening the chest. Exhale, tuck and round into cat. Hold it here. And then untuck that pelvis, coming back into your all four position. You're going to extend opposite arm and leg, lift it up, bring both opposite arm and leg down, and then bring them back into the all four position. Inhale to extend opposite arm and limb. Exhale to lift. Inhale to bring it down, and exhale to bring it together. Inhale, opposite arm and leg reach to the end of the mat. Lift up. Bring them back down and bring them in. Keep going in your own inhales and exhales. Remember here, the most important thing is your length, that I'm pulling those fingertips and those toes. Brace that core, scoop that belly as it really tries to pull you out of alignment, as you really push the energy through the toes and through the fingers. Make sure that you don't put any weight onto one side or the other. It should be even in the lifted limbs. Headlights on the lamps point down. Don't rock that hips or pelvis from side to side. Keep that core engaged, keep those shoulders back, push the back of the skull up to the ceiling. It's a controlled movement. You don't just lift the limbs into the air, you extend them first. That keeps your body nice and even on both sides, keeps that core engagement. I've now got a ball, but the ball is completely optional. You don't have to use a ball. If you have one, place it under one palm. You're in an all four position. Natural arch of the lower back. Inhale, you're going to bend the elbows to the back of the room, and exhale, push up, coming into your tricep, push up. Pushing the elbows to the back of the room, and exhale, squeeze those chest muscles and push back up. If this is a bit much to push to the back of the room with your triceps, then take the arms out nice and wide. Inhale to lower, exhale to squeeze and push through the chest. Amazing. Aim to try and get your chest to at least your elbow height. You may not come all the way down. Swapping the ball over onto the opposite side. If you didn't use a ball, then you're going to just continue with this push-up without the ball. If this feels too easy, take your knees slightly further back away from the hips. Scoop that core. Don't let the shoulders collapse in between. Pull the shoulder blades apart. Rib connection at the front. Scoop that belly and push through your chest. Don't let the head drop between your shoulders. Push the skull up to the back of the ceiling. Perfect. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. Slow and controlled is the way to do your push-up. And just releasing that ball, pushing the bum back to the heels and just come into child's pose. I like to rotate my wrists at this point. The best way to start to build strength through your wrist is to do lots of Pilates, all four and plank positions. And then bring the palms down towards your hips so they're next to your feet. Still staying in that child's pose, enjoying this stretch, resting breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You've got this, you're doing amazing. Coming into your all four position again, wrists under shoulders and knees under your hips. Extending one leg, lifting it up, flex that foot and bring the toe down to the mat. Lift it up, flex the foot and bring the toe down to the mat. Now my wrist was slightly behind my shoulders here, which is not great form. But you'll notice I only bring my leg to hip height. If I take it any higher, I would take all of my body weight and push it onto the opposite side, and I would hinge my hip so the headlamp would start to point at the wall and not down at the mat. I choose length over height here, pulling the energy through my toes and through the top of my head. And then holding up, you're going to just pulse the legs, small pulses pointing the toe. Excellent. Squeeze that bum, squeeze down the leg. Holding it here. Feel the strength of your body. Scoop that belly. You can do this. Relax the shoulders. Flex the foot and gently bring it down. Bend that knee back into your all four position. Take a resting breath. Take your opposite leg out and extend. Inhale, lift that foot, flex and bring it down. The toe reaches the mat and inhale, lift. Flex and bring it back down towards the mat. Excellent. So squeeze that bum, lengthen through the foot. Push all the energy out the sole of your foot and your toes. Keep the level back nice and still. Navel to spine, pelvic floor is lifted. Lots of stability through your pelvis so the hips don't sway side to side, nor do they move or rock forwards and backwards. Still pelvis, lifting that leg, squeezing the bum and bringing it back down. Beautiful. You've got this. Relax the shoulders and hold the leg up and pulse it very lightly up and down. A few inch movements. You'll notice my upper body stays still, my pelvis stays still. Hold the leg still and hold it here. Squeeze that bum. You've got this. Flex that foot, bring the toe down to the mat and bend that knee in towards your body and push the bum back. Bringing those arms down by your feet again into child's pose. Take a nice resting breath. We are going to come back up onto our all fours. So take a nice relax here. Take the weight off those wrists. If the wrists becomes too much, the option is always to go to your elbows, but we want to build strength through our wrists. The best way we do this is to be on them. Sitting up now and placing the ball, if you have one, between your knees. Coming back into that all four position and coming up onto the toes. Neutral spine, shoulders back. Exhale, lift the knees a few inches and inhale, drop. Squeezing that ball if you have one. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Scoop that belly up. Lifting the pelvic floor and letting the shoulders pull down the back. Use the core here to help you lift those knees and lower. Lift as you exhale and inhale to lower. If this is just a little bit too much, you could just lift one knee and then the other knee. Hold it up here and squeeze the ball in and out. Amazing. Exhale in and inhale out and drop the knees. Exhale, lift, squeeze that ball together. You can go faster now. Pulse, 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 pulse that ball and drop the knees. You've got this. Slide those shoulder blades down. Nice neutral spine lift and pulse. You've got this. You are amazing. You can pulse, pulse, pulse that ball. Lower and push the bum back towards the heels. I was feeling that one today. Taking that little more vigorous pulse of the ball in between just incorporates a nice little bit of inner thigh work as we really work on those abdominals as well. I like to call that one floating table. I think it's quite commonly called that in yoga as well. Just stretching through the lower back, push through those palms. Walk the hands to your knees. Coming into an all-four position, you're going to swing one knee forwards, bringing the knee to the elbow, and the foot is by your hip. Send the back leg nice and straight and bring the body down. Now you may still have extended arms, you may be on your elbows, or you may be able to bring your head all the way down to the mat. Shifty around in both of the legs. You'll find where that niche spot is, where you really feel that nice glute stretch. You should be feeling this in the bum and down the leg. You may get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch in that extended leg as well. Hold it here. It's a developmental stretch. Let it develop. Let the muscle relax and stretch that little bit more. Walk the hands to your knee, lifting up to swap those legs. Knee comes to the hand or the elbow, and the foot goes towards the hip. Pushing that other leg nice and back and long down the mat. Just checking the camera was still on there. Remember, you may have extended arms beyond the elbows, or you may be able to get your forehead all the way down, as I have. Hold this stretch here. Continue to breathe in the nose and out of the mouth. Then walking the hands to the knee, release that leg, sending it back into your all-four position. Push the back of the skull up, shoulders down, neutral spine. Inhale to engage that core. Exhale, you're going to take one arm and thread it under the opposite arm, bending that elbow, twisting through the upper back and looking to the ceiling. Inhale to center. Exhale, thread the needle to the opposite side. Keep the ear off the mat. And look up towards the shoulder or just look straight ahead. Keep the headlights on the hips pointing down. This is a mid-back twist, so you want to twist through the upper body. Keeping the palm nice and high and the headlamps on the hips pointing down. Exhale, twist and thread. Look up to that shoulder. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, thread that needle, twist through that upper back, look to the shoulder. And inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale and thread. Hopefully you can start to twist that back that little bit more. And inhale to center. Over to the opposite side, twisting again that little bit more through the back. And inhaling to center. Pushing one foot forwards, placing it between the hands and sending the other leg back straight down the mat. Sink down straight into your hip flexor stretch. Try not to push the body too forwards here, sink into it. You can bring the hands onto the knees and push the back backwards. Only if you don't have lower back issues. If you've lost the stretch, then just bring the arms back down. And then you're going to swap those legs. You're going to bring the opposite leg forward, this time between the hands. I again come onto my knee, pushing the back leg nice and straight, sinking straight and down into that hip flexor stretch. Perfect. Oops, just lost a little bit of balance there. I'm sure you're fine. Staying where you are, pushing through that hip. You can lift the back knee if you wanted a little bit more of a stretch. Bringing the hands back down to the mat and replacing that foot back into that all-four position. You're going to arch the back and open the chest and look up into cow. And just hold it here. pulling the shoulders down the back, wiggling the hips from side to side, and then coming back to centre. You're going to tuck the pelvis and round up into cat, and then untuck the pelvis and arch the back into cow, looking up. Exhale, rounding up into cow, taking the weight over the shoulders, then untucking the pelvis and spine and bringing it back in cow, up and over in cat, and coming back into cow and bringing it back. So you're like a wave. You're waving the body up and round in cow, over the shoulders, and then arching that back and coming into cow. Now in that arch position, cow coming forwards, rounding it over and back into cat, then pushing forwards in cow, over and round into cat. Again, you're just a wave but in the opposite direction. Arching into the cow, bringing the weight back over towards the heels, and push the heels back, the bum down to your heels. And just holding in child's pose here. A few resting breaths. Walking the hands to your knees, coming up and into a seated position. I came to face you. You can stay where you are. Inhale, raise the arms up above the head. Exhale, twist the upper back and send the opposite arm to the opposite knee. Look to the back of your room. Drop your shoulders. Twist this through the upper back. The headlamps on the hips still face forwards. Continue to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Inhale into center. Arms raise above the head. Exhale, twist in the spine and sending the opposite palm to the opposite knee. Looking towards the back of the room, sitting up nice and tall, pushing the energy up the head. Twist through that upper back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring the arms down nice and wide, stretch the chest. Inhale to center. Palms meet in the middle, bring them down to center and give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys. You have done amazing.